And the U.S. has also accused Maduro of leading a drug cartel called Cartel de los Solos. However, today, the Justice Department has dropped claims that the group actually exists. Well, for more analysis on this, we can speak with San-Ho Tree, who leads the Drug Policy Project at the Institute for Policy Studies. San-Ho, thank you for your time. What do we need to understand then here? Why is the Justice Department doing this, and why is it important?
Well, the Cartel de los Soles is not a real organization. It's a figure of speech, an expression that predates the Maduro and Chavez administrations by more than a decade. It reflects the sons, the Soles, on the epaulets of the generals in the Venezuelan military. So these are, corrupt individuals who are rent seekers, who take bribes or, whatever to look the other way or perhaps facilitate a little bit of it. But it's low level, relatively low level corruption, and it's always happened throughout Latin America, including amongst our allies as well as our official enemies. So drug prohibition is an equal opportunity corruptor in that sense.
And now that Maduro is in the United States, standing trial in the United States on these drug charges, so what should we understand about how this is likely to play out and the use of, or the accusations that he is involved at the top of the tree when it comes to drugs coming from Venezuela?
Yeah, so this is being used as first of all, Venezuela and Maduro are relatively small players in the great scheme of things in terms of the drug consumption in the United States. Most of it comes from other countries. The cocaine that's trafficked through Venezuela goes primarily to Africa and Europe. And very little of it reaches the United States. And there's certainly no fentanyl involved in any of this. Fentanyl is added in Mexico. South America has little to do, if anything, with fentanyl. So those charges don't stand up. These were all fabricated to target a political enemy for political ends. If you look at this historically, many of the presidents and secretaries and generals amongst our allied nations in the war on drugs over the past, quarter century have been more problematic than this official designated enemy, in the sense that right now in the U.S. federal prison is sitting Genaro Garcia Luna, the former Minister of Public Security in Mexico, the architect of their drug war, convicted in a New York court for drug trafficking. 20 years ago, it was President Clinton's drug czar went to Mexico to gave a big bear hug to his counterpart, and it turned out he was also one of the working for the cartels. You go to Peru and Vladimiro Montesinos, the head of intelligence, also one of the big drug lords, and President Fujimori, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, this is a very selective prosecution, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it kind of jars as well, doesn't it? I mean, with the fact that President Trump just recently pardoned former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez for trafficking cocaine into the United States. Yes. He was actually serving a 45-year prison term.
Massive amounts of cocaine, 400 to 500 tons he was facilitating. And he mocked U.S. policy. He said, we're going to stuff the cocaine right up the noses of the gringos. So this is just contempt as well as just massive, massive corruption. And yet Donald Trump gave him a full and complete pardon.
Yeah, the hypocrisy is quite striking. Thanks very much, San-Ho. We'll leave it there for now, but thanks very much for putting that in context for us. San-Ho Tree there, who leads the Drug Policy Project at the Institute for Policy Studies.